What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel and another video. I'm going to be doing another open cup today with totally different colors. I have this extreme sheen 24 karat gold right here, a titanium white, a deep magenta. I have a violet here, and then with this one I added a little bit of titanium white to the violet to lighten it up. We're using a canvas that I've dripped paint on because everything's going to get used. These colors here are mixed 3 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. They have 1 to 2 drops of silicone in them. I'm using the OGX brand coconut milk hair serum. And then these whites are going to be the base slash helping the composition not roll under. And with that, let's just get started, shall we? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing amazing. I'm actually going to give it a little spin, try to spread that paint out just a little bit. All right. I hope everybody's doing great. It is quite warm here. Even in my studio with the air conditioning on, I'm sweating. But I have to paint. I want to paint. I've been getting a whole lot of really good comments and questions on the last open cup I did, and so I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. It was really nice being able to interact with you guys and get some of your questions answered. I hope that it was helpful. This gold is so much thicker than the other colors though. I don't know if it's because it's deco art. Well, metallics in general are always thicker than non-metallics, so that's probably what it is. All right, get this beautiful magenta in there, and then we're gonna release it. You can already see the cells forming in the cup. I love that. Alright, so white. And we will go back into our violet. So I like to alternate light and dark colors. Now that's not the main reason I'm using the white. I'm using the white to add to the contrast of the piece, but it also will help the colors not mix too much, and it gives me that cell within a cell type of look. Man, that gold is so thick. All right, let's release the paint out into the world. Wait a minute. Oh. All right, so now I'm seeing the colors are starting to try to roll under. So I'm gonna put some around the sides here to try to stop it. This is the point in the pour where I like to give it a little bit of heat, try to help the cells kind of start forming as the oil warms up. So I'm gonna take my heat gun, and we'll see what we can get to come out of this. Not very much. We have a couple cells forming, but nothing crazy. So we'll continue to layer then. All right. Yeah, some of those cells are pretty cool. I like how the gold in those cells is actually staying concentric. All right, let's a little bit of white. I think I'll use this violet again. I could sit in here and paint all day long. I love this stuff. It's so much fun. So I have a question for you guys. What draws you to acrylic pouring? What does this style of art do for you? because I think it benefits everybody a little bit differently. So I'm going to release this. And then I think I'm going to actually give it a little spin. I've never done this before, so let me add a little bit of white around the sides to help it flow. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. And let's see what happens when we spread it just ever so slightly and get paint all over my hands. All right. I think spreading it out, look at that gold, those gold cells. Whoa. I love that. All right, now the heat again. So I think the first time I did this, the layers were just too thick. So we couldn't coax any kind of reaction out of these cells because the silicone was buried under the layers. That's what I think, anyway. Got some really cool looking cells, though. The gold ones are the most surprising ones to me. I did not expect the gold to stay like round like that, because normally like metallics just get incorporated with all the other paints as they push through. But these cells are actually staying quite gold, so that's exciting. Taking the torch to it just a little bit, I want to see what it does, because it should do more than that. I like creating the cells before I spin. That way when I do the first initial spin, the cells just get large. That's really cool looking. Wow, look at all those little beautiful cells, huh? All right, so we used white last. Let's put another little band of gold in there. That's beautiful, you guys. Don't forget the white. A little bit of white. I was actually smelling the whites because I'm almost feeling like the white I'm layering right now doesn't have silicone in it. I'm gonna have to check though, because normally you can smell that coconut milk in there. So I'm just doing thinner layers. Because we are getting close to the end of this one. So a little bit of gold mixed with the violet. So smaller and smaller layers. Because that really helps when I do the swipe at the end, that I don't end up with just a big spot of a solid color in the middle. That's typically what I will do to make sure that there's some depth in the center. Yeah, we got some really cool cells just busting through right now. Oh yeah. I like that, you guys. Very pretty. All right, so let's start by doing the little swipe that we typically do. I like swiping slightly just to break up that outline of the center. Man, that looks really cool. And before we spin it for that last time, kind of want to generate a few cells in the center portion. And once we spin it, I'll be able to do this again and build on what we accomplished the first time. So a lot of paint's gonna have a hard time in the corners. I already know that, always does. This one could use a little bit of love over here. Probably some right there too. Yeah, all right. I'm loving the way that gold is staying in there. So I don't use the 24 karat gold from Deco Art very often. But from what I'm seeing, I probably should use it more often, because it looks really good. So excited to see what is underneath after we get this all spread. All right, let's save that stick for after the spin. All right, well, I think we're ready, you guys. Bring it to the center just a little bit. All right, here we go. Just a really gentle spin, nothing forceful. And you can already see those layers being thinned out is helping cells in the center develop even more. So we got decent coverage on two corners, and there's still a spot of white going around, so I am gonna spin it again, but we're gonna switch directions and give it another just little spin. Man, these colors look really good. I am very happy with the way this looks. I'm very excited to see the change now that the paints are thinned. The layers are thinned out. Wow, that gold is really punching through too. That's awesome. It's like magic every time I do this, because it's always something new and exciting. All right. So now we're gonna work on getting some of our more solid defined cells to come through. Somebody made a comment and they said what they call their cells within cells are bullseye cells. And I've never heard that, but it actually makes a lot of sense to call them that. Because, I mean, they do look like a bullseye for sure. All right. This is pretty, you guys. I like this. I almost like that there's some very large cells and then there's some very tiny cells, but there's nothing in between, and there's some areas that are just not very many cells at all, which is fine. I love that. Man, that's pretty looking. So since I just heated up the paint, these cells are going to continue to develop for a few minutes until the paint cools down. And then we're going to get down here and check this thing out because it looks so cool. I am so happy that I used that gold in there, because it gives us some really nice pops of really bright gold to stand off that magenta and violet. It looks so cool. I don't know, guys. I'm in love with this one. What do you see? What's in this one? I'm thinking Amethyst, but what do you see? I really do love the way this came out. That really striking gold. I'm gonna have to use that more often in my pours. You might have just heard Piper, because Piper likes to talk. I'll show you Piper right after this. Oh, actually, there's Piper right there. Piper! Hey, baby. Hey, what are you doing? Exploring. If you want to watch another video just like this, click the screen right now and I'll see you there.